Well, it has been confirmed that the House Budget Committee passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This means that those tax cuts that President Trump was promising, well, they're one step closer to actually going through. That means the taxes for tips, overtime, additional benefits for seniors, and additional money for children. This is all included in the bill. But today, I want to address what is now in the bill, how this differs from just last week, and what we could actually see moving forward. Because based off what we're hearing from many experts, this bill is not set in stone and there will be some changes. So I want to break this down, explain what those changes are, what we could see in the very near future, and what you should expect over the coming years. So make sure you stick around and watch this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is in this bill. But again, before we do, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So like I just said, the House Budget Committee advances the One Big Beautiful Bill. This House Budget Committee, they passed the bill last night, or this kind of the framework for it. This went through with a vote of 17-16. So again, very close. But I want to read this to you. This is what Chairman Jody Arrington said. This is a Republican from Texas. Look at this. It says, tonight, the House Budget Committee took a critical step to passing the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and making President Trump's America First vision a reality for the American people. I look forward to finishing the work on this bill and passing this historic legislation through the House. I encourage my Senate colleagues not to delay and quickly take up our bill so we can expedite it to the President's desk and make America safe and prosperous again. Okay, so what is in this bill? Okay, now I receive the question all the time. I want to be very clear on this. Okay, I've addressed it already, but I'm going to say it again. As far as a provision in this bill or any type of line item to include up to $5,000 in the Doge dividend check, it's not included. It's not here. Okay? Here's what is in this bill. I'm just going to go through the ones for individuals right now. And again, we'll talk about this and I'll elaborate on it a little bit. But look at this. It says the bill is centered around an extension of tax cuts for individuals contained in the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. This was signed into law by President Trump. It says the immediate effect would be a continuation of the status quo for taxpayers after that 2017 tax or that law lowered rates temporarily. If Congress doesn't pass this tax law will expire, meaning everybody's taxes are going to go up. That's what President Trump wants to avoid. He does not want to see anybody actually have to pay more in taxes. That includes millionaires and billionaires as well. We'll get to that in a moment. It says right here, if the bill is passed, which it looks highly likely it will in the coming months, if the bill is passed, America's highest earners will see a continued top rate of 37%. That comes as Republicans debated but have discarded for now the idea to raise the rate on millionaires. It says the bill also provides some goodies for individuals. Now, we'll get to some of these in a moment. But one of the things that President Trump discussed was he is okay if we have to increase the tax rate from the highest earners from 37% to 39.6%. He was okay with that. And they even discussed potentially putting a new tax bracket to anybody making $1 million plus, they would pay the 39.6%. So essentially, we're not increasing tax rates. We're just pretty much inputting a new one. But they decided against that for now. Here's another one. President Trump is pushing forward with this. There will be no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime income, and no taxes on car loan interest for American-made vehicles. And that is only for individuals, not for businesses. So again, this is something that's good for those that want to buy a new car, even though rates are potentially going back up. So just be aware of that. Want to read this one to you as well. Okay, this right here, this is extremely important. You need to understand how this is working. It says, the no tax on tips and overtime provisions exclude highly compensated employees who fall above certain thresholds. It says the tips provisions were also recently revised to include gig economy workers like Uber and Lyft. And the CEO of Uber says they're very grateful for this change. That is huge. That's huge. I have several friends that used to drive for Uber, but have gotten out of driving for Uber because it was just not as profitable as it once was. Okay, they were being told what to do. There's more restrictions. There just wasn't a lot going for them. This is potentially a big change. So we'll see if that actually drives people back to Uber. Again, no pun intended there. Now, here's another one. It says right here, many of these provisions have also raised eyebrows as they are set to expire in 2029, just as Trump is scheduled to leave office. It's just one of the many changes that would be temporary. Now, the reason why so many people are a little bit set back by what Trump is doing is what we've heard in the past is certain administrations, if they're going to make some life-altering changes, it shouldn't be, and especially a big change like this, it shouldn't be something that drags on from administration to administration to administration, just for that specific administration. Because some Republicans say, why should we give Democrats the benefit of one of our provisions, one of our policies? Democrats say the same thing about Republicans. So this could be the start of all that. But here's another big change, and this is something that many people thought the Biden administration did, but it was really the Trump administration. It says one change would increase the child tax credit to $2,500 from its current $2,000 level. It says another provision includes a $1,000 bonus to the standard deduction from $15,000 to $16,000 for single filers, both expiring in 2029. What most people don't realize is that President Trump increased the child tax deduction back in his first term. He increased it from $1,000 to $2,000, but that also expires at the end of this year. So January 1st, 2026, that child tax credit of $2,000 doesn't actually exist. It goes back to $1,000. Obviously, that's a huge decrease for millions of children and for families. This is why the Trump administration says, you know what, let's make the $1,000 increase, so that $2,000 child tax credit, let's make that permanent, where it never expires. It's set now at $2,000 and it can only go up. But he also wants to include that child tax credit to be $2,500 per year per child for the next 4 years. As long as President Trump is in office, he wants children to receive $2,500. That's, again, a substantial boost. Now, there's other things in this bill, for individuals as well. Here's another one. I just want to show it to you. It says the bill also creates a new savings plan for children called Money Accounts for Growth and Advancement. The acronym? MAGA. Yeah. It says the accounts could be jump-started for U.S. citizens by potential $1,000 contributions from the government, and would then allow contributions of up to $5,000 annually from after-tax dollars. This is something that Senator Ted Cruz has been pushing. This is also something that many lawmakers do support. Let's provide children with something that they can grow from the very early stages of life. Let's not wait until they're 16 or 18 years old. Let's make sure that they are starting an account early and growing that account. But again, we'll see if that actually goes through. I want to read you this one last thing. It says, but the utility of these accounts was immediately questioned, with tax experts noting that contributions coming only from after-tax dollars and with apparently no ability to withdraw the money tax-free will limit the benefits after the government's initial contribution. Yeah, there's some issues there, but as with every single thing in this bill, there is going to be some changes. There's going to be some pushback from certain senators. Now, this bill hasn't actually landed on the floor of the House. It hasn't gone through the vote in the House of Representatives yet, only in the House Budget Committee. This is why it's a big deal, is because, again, in the House Budget Committee, it's passing along party lines. But when it actually reaches the House, Are they going to have every single Republican on board? That's something I don't know. And I highly question whether or not Republicans have the support at this time with everything that is included into this bill. So, we'll see what happens. The one thing that I do know at this time is that, according to Speaker Mike Johnson, this is something that he wants to get passed before Memorial Day. He really wants to see this, or really working towards it before Memorial Day. And again, this is in the House of Representatives. That leaves us 1 week. Okay, I believe Memorial Day is on the 26th. And then as far as getting this passed and signed into law by President Trump, the goal is July 4th. So, we'll see what happens, but as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.